first time I met Spitfire Tides, I went to the Thunderbolt in Bristol. They were playing one of their first ever gigs, their first one definitely after the pandemic, and they just blew me away. They were an amazing live band, and our relationship started from there. Hi, my name's Wiggin. I run Westwick Management and I'm a music manager. So I've always been interested in music. I've always been a bit of a punk. So I always had like bright coloured hair. Pretty much grew up on bands like The Damned, Blink-182, like Good Charlotte, Green Day, that kind of thing. When I was 18, 19, I was offered an internship with a production company, Done and Dusted. So I helped organise T4 on the Beach, and I think that just kind of set off my career and my real interest in like the behind the scenes music industry. Everything's like exciting, you're always on your feet. It blew my mind how many different jobs there were in the music industry. I then went to uni, doing music business. I found this girl band, and I started working with them on that, and then eventually they asked me to start managing them. Yeah, the most challenging thing was just not knowing what I was doing and kind of throwing myself in the deep end, but also trying to look really confident on the outside, trying to make it look like you kind of know what you're doing as well, which I think is quite a hard thing to pull off. The girl band I worked with did quite well. They did a couple of tours. They nearly got signed out of it. After uni, I then went on to sign another band, and to be honest, I was just getting things kind of going with that side of things. They did a couple of tours, and then unfortunately that's when I got my autoimmune illness. I actually quit management altogether. I felt like it was such a fast-paced job that I wouldn't be able to do it again. But luckily, with the coronavirus and the pandemic, everything kind of became work from home. I started to realise that you can do the job and I can organise my own hours and make it work around me. So I started putting the feelers out to different promoters, different managers in the Bristol area, asking if they had any bands that they could recommend. I then was sent an email there's this really cool band, like why don't you come down and see them? So I went down to the Thunderbolt in Bristol, and that's where I met Spitfire Tides. And I think it's the only band that I've ever met that have completely blown me away. I didn't realise at the time that it was one of their first gigs that they'd ever played. It was just incredible. Like, they got everybody up in the room dancing, like singing along. They were just a really, really good live band. So I'd seen them live. They really impressed me. I checked them out online. I then met Josh for coffee, and he really impressed me just because he knew what he wanted from the band. I like people that are super open and honest and don't, can I swear? Bullshit. Got to know them a little bit more, and then we then signed the contracts again.
You got to say, we're Spitfire Tides all together. Do the cheesy.
No, that's too...
No.
Right, no, I'll tell you what that is. Whenever One Direction used to release anything, it would be, "Hi, we're One Direction."
Hi, we're One Direction.
So yeah, no, not doing that.
Okay, go.
Hi, we're Spitfire Tides. Thanks for checking out our TikTok.
It started in the first year of uni. You guys were jamming for a rehearsal, for a class or something?
You did a lot of assessments together.
Yeah, for like an assessment, yeah. And then we ended up writing a tune.
Snowflake?
Yeah, we ended up writing what became Snowflake.
I'll just smile through my teeth and tell you that we're all out here, we're doing just fine.
And then from that point on, we just kind of felt like we had a good thing going. That's kind of like how it started. Oh, and we've been through like 3 different names as well, because like I hate naming a band. Band names are what you make of them.
Yeah.
So it's how you define it. Like I remember seeing a band in the one of the Bristol music magazines called the Psychedelic Porn Crumpets.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's ridiculous. But then like they own it. You know, they are a quite out there band. So I think as long as you are able to try and define it, I mean, you know, like we always say, like, what's an Arctic Monkey?
How would you guys describe your music?
This is something we got to figure out. Okay.
Awesome.
Festival music. Afternoon, no.
It's definitely genre-wise in the realm of rock, you can't deny it's not. in the
It's
realm
rock.
of
It's rock. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
I'd,
rock.
I'd say it's just
Yeah.
rock because there's indie moments, there's funky moments, and there's 80s ballad moments.
And all
There's-
genres of music
yeah.
are very broad and open up even further.
This is why I think it's interesting because we've got 4 different people with different influences, different backgrounds. You know, we're not a band that have all come from the same school, same college, same town, same influences, and we want to make the same music.
I think you need different personalities, and because then that's when you create something more unique than just if you were all into indie, because then you just sound like every indie band.
People notice it as well. We actually got a message from someone on Instagram once, and he was like, "I really like what you guys are doing. I have no idea what genre you are, but I really like it." And I was like, "Yeah, no, me too." We're still very much in the experimentation phase, but it's a lot more freeing because we can literally write anything, and as long as it's me singing, him playing, and him playing, it sounds like us.
Could you tell us the story of like meeting Emma and how did that come about?
It was the first Thunderbolt gig, which is, so it was after the Dick Whittington gig, probably the worst gig for us. But then, after that, it felt like a real step up, because that gig was just brilliant. Like, there was a much bigger turnout, and yeah, it's just the energy as well. Like, everyone was really vibing.
It was really weird actually, because when we did the gig, I just remember playing, and it was ridiculously hot,
So
and it was still sunny out because it was summer, and just covered in sweat. And Josh coming up to me after saying like, "Yeah, there's like this pink-haired woman is like a manager and wants I think she wants to like manage us or something." And I just looked on the band Instagram, and this person started following us, and I was like, "Oh, okay," and then didn't really think anything else of it. And then Josh just said he was going for a coffee with her, and then it just went from there. Well, we were talking one night, and I was like, "Well, getting a manager isn't like winning a race or finishing a race. It's just getting on the
getting
track.
on the track.
It's just like having that person, that representation, that person who's got experience. Because like anything we have experience with is being dumb and writing songs.
At the moment, for me, it's just keep doing what we're doing, get our following up, and then once we're in a position where we've got people behind us saying, "When's the new music coming?" then you want to put out an EP or an album. When people are asking you for it. So many local musicians that I know have put music out, and it goes to what they call the Spitfire graveyard, which is just to basically never be seen again. And it's sad because like the amount of work that you put in to music, whether that's the audio or the visual, and the promo and the merch and everything, just for it to disappear and never be seen again. So definitely for me, it's to build a following, organic fan base, built up of people who have like got our backs and come to shows and stuff, and go from there.
Thank you very much.